What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Flea Flipper. So unfortunately, I was unable to go to the flea market this past weekend on Father's Day because I bought this, and yeah, I didn't want to spend any more money because this is a lot of money. I spent a lot of money on this, so yeah. But even though I bought a Switch 2 this past weekend and didn't go to the flea market, I still wanted to release a video for this Wednesday. So just like a couple of weeks before when I showed off my entire Super Nintendo collection, this week I want to show you guys my entire Sega Saturn collection. But before I do show you guys all the games in my Saturn collection, I do want to give a shout out to my dad on Father's Day. This was my first Father's Day without my dad in my life. So Dad, I know you're watching up in heaven. I miss you every day, and I love you. But with all that sad stuff out of the way, let's get into my Sega Saturn collection and every game I own, which is a collection. Let's get into it. Okay, let's do it. The first game in my Sega Saturn collection I want to show you guys is NBA Action 98. The only reason I have this game is not because I like sports games on the Sega Saturn. It's because the cover athlete is Kobe Bryant, my favorite basketball player of all time. Quite honestly, I don't really remember ever playing this game that much, but I do remember finding it at a yard sale as a kid. And that is honestly the only reason I actually own this game is because Kobe's on the cover, and yeah, that's about it for this one. But enjoy this clip of me hitting a 3 with Shaq.
O'Neal, all alone. Great ball movement.
Next game I want to show you guys is actually one of my favorites on the Sega Saturn, and that is Sonic R. Now, first things first, is Sonic R actually a good game? The answer is no, it's very bad. But I did play this game a lot as a kid because it was one of the only Sega Saturn games I had, and I found this very early on at yard sales, so I played it. Even though it wasn't good, I still liked it. You get the option of either playing as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy. You have to unlock Dr. Eggman, Robotnik, whatever you want to call him. And besides Eggman, there are 4 other unlockable characters in Sonic R, and they include Metal Sonic, Tails the Doll, Metal Knuckles, Robot Eggman, and Super Sonic. You unlock most of these characters by collecting coins on each stage to have Sonic on them, but this is a lot easier said than done because I'm pretty sure you have to collect all of these and still finish in first, and with this game's controls where you feel like you're sliding on ice the whole time, it makes it basically impossible, so I would just save your time and actually play something that's more enjoyable and actually good. And funny enough, the nostalgia for this game, for me at least, comes from the music. It's like nothing I've ever heard in any Sonic game ever, and you just gotta hear it for yourself. Here are some of the best songs from Sonic R.
Go!
All the songs in Sonic R are sung by T.J. Davis, a British songwriter from back then. So T.J. Davis, also known as Teresa Jane Davis. Sorry, Teresa. If you're listening to this ever, which you probably won't, thank you for singing some of the songs of my childhood that are still stuck in my head today. So thanks a lot for that. But enough talking about Sonic R, let's talk about my next game in my Sega Saturn collection. The next game in my Saturn collection is another Sonic game. This time it is Sonic 3D Blast. And very similar to Sonic R for the Saturn, most people would say this game sucks, but I happen to be on the other side and think this game is not that bad. It's not good, just not that bad. And I think the main reason Sega fans don't like this game is because it's not like your traditional Sonic game where you're just running fast trying to get from one point to the end point. But in Sonic 3D Blast, your main objective is to collect all the birds, aka they're called flickies, where you save them, you get all of them, you can move on in the stage until ultimately you get this third stage of each world, and that's the boss fight. But there is one reason why I enjoy Sonic 3D Blast, and that is because of the special stages. The way to activate each special stage in Sonic 3D Blast is to collect 50 rings and find either Tails or Knuckles on each level. You will then be teleported to the special stage where your main objective is to get the required amount of rings in order to get the Chaos Emerald. And the reason I like these stages so much is because this is what I imagined a Sega Saturn Sonic the Hedgehog game would have looked like. And I feel like a lot of people were waiting for a Sonic game to look just like this back in the day when the Saturn was out. But unfortunately we never got a game like that. All we got was Sonic 3D Blast and games like Sonic R, which are, yeah, they are what they are. Sega team did have a mainline Sonic the Hedgehog game for the Saturn in the works called Sonic Extreme, but unfortunately it had many problems in development and ultimately never came out. But we did get a great mainline Sonic the Hedgehog game on the Dreamcast, Sega's next console, with Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2. And with that all being said, these are actually the only 3 Sega Saturn games I have in my collection. I know, 3 total games. But there are still a handful of games I still want for the system, so let's go over my wishlist games. Here's the list of Sega Saturn games I still want in no particular order. Shining Wisdom, Sonic Jam, Dragon Force, Guardian Heroes, Legend of Oasis, Rayman, Astal, and Dark Savior. And I don't pay retail for games. If I never find it for cheap at a yard sale, flea market, I don't need it, guys. You don't need any of these games. It's much more fun to find it for cheap or to flip it or all that stuff. Just, you don't need to buy a game, come on. But that's about it for my Sega Saturn collection video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please share with a friend, subscribe to the channel, like the video, all that stuff. But yeah, I'll get back to more regular scheduled Flea Flipper episodes. But once again, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.